Wasn't that great? A card that lights up. It's fun, it's fresh, and it's different. Hello, I'm Jenny of Jenny Paper, and thank you for stopping by my channel today. I saw a card like this on Pinterest. It was designed by wishcards.studio, a British company. Each of their interactive cards come with a match and a candle wick, and I thought I loved their idea. And I figured out a way to do it myself at home, and I want to share that with you. Now there's a couple of specialty items involved. I'm going to share also a couple of tips that'll help increase your success, but there's a few things you've already got at home. So let's get started. Number one, it's the paper. I know that's easy to overlook. I'm using cardstock. If you've got anything that if you hold it with two fingers and it flops over like a soggy pizza crust, don't use that. This one is about 60 weight. My preference is a little thicker, but I think most people have about this weight. Maybe you bought it at Michael's, and that'll do. It's sturdy enough. The next part is the matches. And the ones that I'm using are what they're known as strike anywhere matches. I grew up calling them cowboy matches because, you know, in the movies, the cowboys were really cool. They'd roll up their cigarettes and they'd strike a match on the heel of their boot to light up their cigarettes to smoke. I've never smoked. I never liked it, but they look cool anyway. And this brand is called Diamond. It's known as the green light. It's got this little green head, and it's very easy to light up with. So I'm using the smallest size. It's a little less than 2 inches. And I like it because I like the way it's proportioned on this card, which is 4 by 6 inches. So you can make the card any proportion that you like. The next specialty item is relatively inexpensive. It's the candle wick itself with what's called a clip. And you need that clip too. So this, the candle wick is normally cotton that's been dipped in wax. And many times you can find it already attached to this clip. So I got 10 of these for $1.50 at Hobby Lobby. So anywhere that makes candles will probably have a set of these available. The other part that you might want to use is called, and I had to look it up, strike paper, this. And I had to debate to myself whether or not I wanted this paper. And I have to say, yes, I'm really glad I got it. It makes a more professional looking finish. I got a sheet. It was roughly, because I've been making a few cards, 8 by, let's say, 4 3/4 inches. And it's got about 48 strips on it. So you can see that there's a little line in the middle and little 1/2-inch strips, 24 on one side, 24 on the other. And they're self-adhesive. They just peel right off. So you're thinking, do I really need this? Because you're using strike anywhere matches. Should you raid your toolbox for some sandpaper, possibly, or get some sandpaper at, let's say, a Home Depot? Well, that's a possibility too. I've never tried it, but you could think about, or you could test it out and see if it works. You might want to take off the side of these match boxes, glue it onto here. You know, if you feel that you don't want to run out to get strike paper, hey, I'm not telling anyone. I think it's a great idea. And the one thing I want to share with you too is there were 2 ways that I came up with this particular card. One that uses the wax that's used for making seals, and one without. So for this particular video, I'm just showing you how to do the one with the wax seals. Being a paper crafter, many of us actually, I know, have wax to make wax seals. So, you know, I do it all the time. This is a paper one and a few others. And to find another use for melting my wax, that's great. You know, because wax seals, they're sort of like confetti, you know, or Christmas pine needles. They just seem to mutate and keep growing. So I'm going to share that with you. And the biggest tip I have regarding that, and I think that's pretty crucial for success, is don't pour the wax on your paper. Pour it somewhere else and then glue it onto your paper. So for instance, the only success that I had when I poured hot wax on a paper was using this watercolor paper, which is super thick. It's almost like working with really nice cardboard. It's highly textured, it's gorgeous, but even then, there's a little bit of warping that went on. If you poured hot wax on this one, which is only 60-pound weight, it would start to wrinkle as the wax started to cool, and you'd sort of get a wrinkled looking warping potato chip. You don't want that. So I'm going to demonstrate really fast the pouring of the hot wax to set up the wick. And I can tell you right now, I have to confess that working with a video tutorial is challenging enough. I didn't want to add a live fire, even if it's a tiny little tea light, with the spoon, the classic way of melting the wax, and talk at the same time. So I sped up the video for that part. You'll get to see me melt the wax and peel it off, and then I'll continue talking after that. So I wanted to show you what I did. I took the wax that I had poured onto this mat, let it cool with the wick in it, and then glued it right onto the card. And this way your card, and I've just got this little strike paper here, so I'm going to put on the side. And see, this card doesn't warp. And so it's a much easier, and I say more professional looking result because of it. And then I'm going to add my strike paper, and sort of been trying to decide where I'd want to put it. So I think I'm going to put it on the side here, like that. I have this washi tape that from Heidi Swap Designs, and I just pulled off a little tiny piece, grabbed the match, and decided to just pop it over here. Congratulations. So and there I go. So you can easily slide this into an envelope, and then you can let me put this up. So from the profile, you can just push that down into the envelope, and when the receiver gets it, he or she can just pull it up, pull out the match, strike it right over here, and light. And I just think it's a really cute interactive card that is easy to pull off at home. And there's one other thing I wanted to show you. Another way to melt your wax is to use these kind of like molds. There's all different kinds. I have one that's sort of like heart-shaped over here, but that's kind of large. And I don't use it for this because I made this example for you. It provides this really big harsh ledge, so it looks like you've got this really big pancake, thick pancake, and you stick it on the card. It actually looks like you made it separately and you stuck it on the card. It just doesn't seem to work with the aesthetics of the whole process of making this card, as opposed to if you make something that just naturally has a rounded edge like this. I think this is a lot prettier, a lot more organic, and it blends better with the rest of the card that you're making. So here's the 3 samples just to review. The first one is very basic, but it's still very unique, and people would be intrigued receiving something like this. The second one is a little more elaborate. I used a heavy-duty watercolor paper, added diamond dots, and I framed my wax seal. And the third one is like all in. I used Tim Holtz collage paper. I added some stickers over here, said 2025, and added more here to emphasize a 2025 graduate that we're very proud of, and this is who I'm going to give this card to. And then I move the match up this way after filming the other scene. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you give this one a try. It's very unique. Just to mention that if you're going to mail this, I would suggest something like bubble wrap or a little cardboard, and that mailing something like this, because it's slightly bulky, might cost you just a little bit extra, but I think it's well worth it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much for taking the time to see this.